Before 2013, Selena Gomez was already a household name, one of the most famous young celebrities in the world. Her rise to fame can be attributed to a mix of Disney Channel stardom, pop music success, and a relatability to a generation growing up with her. Selena Gomez became a global star thanks to her lead in Wizard of Waverly Place from 2007 to 2012, where she played Alex Russo, which was a very smart and stylistic teenage wizard. And the show was a massive hit and ran for 4 seasons and a movie, helping Selena Gomez win an Emmy Award as part of the ensemble. While still acting, Selena launched a music career with her pop rock band Selena Gomez and the Scene, and had the albums Kiss and Tell, A Year Without Rain, When the Sun Goes Down, which included hits like Love You Like a Love Song and Who Says. And she became a teen pop icon, appealing to fans of Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato while cultivating her own style. She was often called the American sweetheart for her grounded personality and positive image. Also, her relationship with Justin Bieber, which began in 2010, attracted intense media attention and made her a tabloid regular. Before 2013, Lorde was largely unknown to the general public, but behind the scenes she was already being shaped into a unique, influential voice in pop music. Her rise was fast, but it was built on years of quiet development, songwriting, and early deal that changed her life. It was in November 2012 Lorde quietly released her first collection of songs, the Love Club EP, on SoundCloud for free. And the standout track from the EP was a song called Royals, which was a critique of materialism in pop culture. And Royals started gaining traction in New Zealand in late 2012. By early 2013, the EP was officially released through Universal, and Royals hit #1 in New Zealand. The buzz began to grow internationally, with critiques and fans noticing her mature songwriting and minimalistic aesthetic. She was seen as a rare artist who developed away from spotlight before launching at full force. She was looked at as a self-aware young woman who already knew she wanted to challenge the norms of pop stardom. And by the time 2013 hit, she was primed for a global takeover, not with a flashy debut, but with a cool stripped-down anthem that turned pop on its head with Royals. In a September 2013 interview with the Rolling Stone, Lorde took issue with the lyrics of Selena Gomez's hit single Come and Get It, where the song includes a chorus with lines like When you're ready, come and get it. And Lorde said, I'm a feminist, and the theme of her song is When you're ready, come and get it from me, which is saying I'm waiting for you to value me. I'm sick of women being portrayed this way. And her critique wasn't aimed at Selena personally, but rather at the song's lyrics and the way pop culture often frames women in passive or submissive roles. However, since Selena was the performer, the comment naturally stirred controversy. Selena's response was in a calm and more respectful way during a radio interview, where she said, I appreciate everybody's opinion, especially because I've covered her music, but I think at the same time that feminism and that word alone is very strong, and I feel like that's something that I stand for, and she's not supporting other women. She essentially suggested that tearing down another female artist wasn't in line with the spirit of feminism, and subtly called Lorde's critic unfair even though she respected her talent. Well, the reasons why the comment got so much attention at the time was the fact that Lorde was new and outspoken. She was like 16 or something, and she was already calling out industry giants for conforming to what she saw as outdated norms. And Selena was a major pop star with a huge fan base and media presence. Any criticism to her was bound to go viral. And also, the debate wasn't just about the song, it touched on deeper issues like how women are portrayed in pop and what it means to be a feminist in the music industry. In the wake of Lorde's 2013 comments about Selena Gomez's song, other artists and industry figures weighed in. Most notably Cher Lloyd, a British pop singer known for her outspoken personality and hits like Want You Back. When asked about Lorde's critic in an interview, Cher didn't hold back. She said, "I think it's ridiculous. How old is she? She's 16. And why is she saying things like that? It's a bit of a knob move." She pointed out that Lorde was new to the industry and already criticizing fellow female artists who had been working hard for years. And Cher's point was that instead of tearing down her peers, Lorde should focus on her own music and let others do that the same. Taylor Swift played an interesting role in that tension between Lorde and Selena Gomez, not because she was directly involved in the comments, but because her close relationship with Selena Gomez and her later friendship with Lorde. And in many ways, Taylor became that quiet link between them. By 2013, Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez had been famously close friends for years. They were frequently seen at award shows, defended each other in interviews, and were known for supporting one another, both personally and professionally. And Selena often described Taylor as someone who gave her advice and encouragement, and fans widely saw them as part of a girl squad narrative where strong female friendship were celebrated in the public eye. Around the same time, Lorde made headlines for her comments on Selena's Come and Get It. She also made some controversial remarks about Taylor Swift in an interview with Metro back in 2013. She said, "Taylor Swift is so flawless and so unattainable, and I don't think it's breeding anything good in young girls." This statement was meant as a critique of how female perfection is marketed in pop culture, but it came off as a personal jab at Taylor. It drew backlash from Swift's fans and the media, prompting Lorde to quickly clarify her comments. She later said, "I think I cocked that up a bit. Taylor Swift is amazing, and I think I screwed that one up." And surprisingly, despite Lorde's early comments, she and Taylor eventually became good friends, and in 2014 they were spotted hanging out together and even went on double dates and vacations. And Lorde joined Taylor's 1989 World Tour as a guest performer and was included in her high-profile inner circle of female artists. And this showed Taylor Swift's willingness to forgive and look beyond early criticism, and perhaps an appreciation for Lorde's artistry. Taylor never publicly commented on Lorde's remark about Selena, and both women appeared with her in public after the fact. It's likely she played a peacemaker role behind the scenes, or at the very least chose to stay out of the narrative. Given her history of protecting her friendship and carefully curated public image, it made sense that she didn't weigh in publicly, and possibly helping both women move forward without making the issue bigger than it needed to be. And this whole situation could also be something to do with Lorde's personality at the time, where she might have inner conflicts going on, especially when we heard her verse on Girl So Confusing remix by Charli XCX, where Lorde perfectly described why she might be the way she is sometimes. In the remix, Lorde's reveal, "I was at the war with my body and your life seemed so awesome." And this shows us that beneath Lorde's strong opinions lies a vulnerable, deeply introspective person, often struggling with insecurity, comparison, and emotional disconnection. That same pattern likely influenced her early critics of pop music, including Selena's Come and Get It. And in 2013, when Lorde criticized the song for promoting passive femininity, she framed it as a feminist stance, but based on what we know now, that critic could have also came from feeling out of place in mainstream pop scene, or comparing herself to artists like Selena, who were more polished, glamorous, and widely loved, and trying to define her identity by contrasting herself with others. In Girl So Confusing, Lorde admits she pulled away from Charli XCX out of personal discomfort, not because Charli had done anything wrong, and that's similar to 2013 Lorde, who was new to fame and may have projected her internal struggle with femininity, beauty standards, and pop conformity onto other women like Selena Gomez. And in other words, her critique may have sounded moral, but was maybe actually personal, driven by self-doubt and insecurity more than dislike or disdain. In both the Charli XCX track and her old interviews, Lorde shows a pattern where she communicates complex feelings through critique and not connection. And with Selena, instead of reaching out or recognizing the nuance in another woman's performance, she made a public statement about the song's message, possibly to distance herself or even protect herself from the expectation placed on women in pop. The Lorde in the remix is self-aware, gentle, and ready to own her mistakes. She opens up about how jealousy, pain, and misunderstanding shaped her behavior, and this maturity could be applied retroactively to the Selena moment. If it had happened today, Lorde might say something like, "Back then I was overwhelmed by how perfect pop stars seem, and I thought I was making a feminist point, but really, I was just struggling with my own identity." And in conclusion, the brief tension between Lorde and Selena Gomez in 2013 never escalated into a full-blown feud, while Lorde's public critique of Selena's "Come and Get It" sparked headlines and drew some backlash from fellow artists like Cher Lloyd. But both Lorde and Selena handled the situation with maturity, and Selena responded calmly, emphasizing female solidarity, while Lorde later clarified her stance and shifted away from critiquing peers so directly. And with time, Lorde's deeper emotional openness, as seen in her 2024 collaboration with Charli XCX, revealed that much of her earlier criticism may have been shaped by insecurity, self-doubt, and discomfort, and in the pop spotlight rather than personal dislike. Ultimately, the moment became a conversation about artistic expression, feminism, and identity in the music industry, and not a lasting conflict.